best entertainment on the earth. Tune in for Comics with Perch.
Hey everybody, this is Perch. Yeah, I've got a cold. You can hear it in my voice. I feel terrible. But I woke up this morning thinking about comic books and thinking about why people do all the things they do. So I listen to not a terrible amount of videos and podcasts. I listen to them from time to time. I go read blogs when I have time. But generally, I don't have time. And a lot of the people I do communicate with regularly can attest to this. I feel like I'm always letting people down in the sense that they want to get on the phone with me or, they want to plan something out with me. And I want to do those things too. But there's never enough time. There's never time to get everything I've done. And part of it's maybe cranking out 3 videos a day. Maybe it's, doing the consulting work, the work that I do, which I'm increasingly proud of. My day job my day job hope is to get back to getting the shop opened up, the shop that I want to open up, the shop that's going to have both comic books and art classes and these other things. People often tell me, it's like, why would you want to do that? What are you, just want to be a loser? I don't know. It's just what I want to do. I find the question weird. But anyway, the day job that I have right now, I'm more or less proud of. It's doing actual good, not pretend social good, but actual good. And so I can hang my hat on that a little bit. And I respect the friends I have. I mean, I get on the phone with people and I talk about things, and I'm trying to set up something bigger going on in the early stages of that, and it's starting to gain some momentum. So that's good. And somebody asked me once recently, it's like, hey, when you start publishing comics, are you going to go into your real name? And I'm like, yeah, probably. I mean, I didn't do this Perch thing to hide anything. It just kind of developed that way. But it's like, are you worried that people are going to come at you? Are you worried people are going to be like, oh, he's a hate group adjacent? And the answer is no, not really. I don't worry about that. Honestly, I feel like a lot of the people who yap about that online are kind of weird little echo chamber people, and those aren't my customers anyway. I don't know that I care too much about it. There's been plenty of people who've had these accusations thrown at them, and they do okay. I mean, it seems like the only way you lose is when you play. So, I don't feel like playing. But the other thing I'm doing, and this is kind of what got me onto this topic, is I'm putting out a comic of my own. So I've been working on it for a while, and it comes in stops and starts. And I've been, working on and off on it for quite some time now, about a year and a half, a little bit more. And we're about 164 pages for this first version. And I listen to people give advice like, oh, you need to do it this way, you need to do it that way. I'm not following any of that advice. I'm doing it the way I want to do it. And I'm not trying to make money off of it. I mean, that's the thing. I hope it comes out one day, but really I wanted to say to myself, hey, you wrote something, you drew something, you inked something, you colored something, you went through the printer and you put it out. That's what I want to do. That's my goal. It's weird. People will sometimes throw darts at others for, it's like, well, you're not doing it the way I do it, so you're dumb. It's like, maybe so, but this is what I want to do. I've had this idea for a comic for a long time. Basically, this idea of a superhero universe where somebody came out and used their powers, wanted to kind of prove to the world, first guy to come out and kind of use their powers, and screws it up majorly. Just tries to save some people and does not. It backfires horribly. It's a disaster. And but it then shows kind of time passing, several decades pass of superheroes. But the effect is basically that the people who don't have powers get just kind of completely apathetic about life, because when the bar has been raised to this new level of superhuman, then what's the point? You can go and you can do whatever you want with your life, but it's not going to be as impressive as what's going on with the superheroes around you. So it's just people are kind of miserable, and that's the setting of this world. Now that you may say that sounds very dark and edgelordy. It's not. It's actually a pretty fun kind of revenge story. But I wanted to play with that concept. I've wanted to do it for a while. So I was talking to somebody, and I was mentioning that, hey, I've got about 10 pages left to go, getting close. And they're like, how long have you been working on this? And I'm like, about 2 years off and on. And they're like, man, what an idiot you are. You're not hyping, you're not promoting it. You're like, do you realize how much money you're losing? I'm like, I'm not losing any money because this wasn't my job. This was never meant to be my job. It's like, well, I don't even know why you're doing this if it's not meant to be your job. It's like, because it's meant to be fun. And what was weird is in the conversation, that seemed like a completely foreign concept. You argue with somebody, you have a debate with somebody, and you reach this point where you're like clearly on radically different ends of the spectrum. There's no seeing things the same way. It's like, I like a steak, and somebody says that's not a steak. That's actually flour, and you're like, no, it's definitely a steak. And the other person's like, nope, those are flowers. And you're like, we're not even dealing with the same reality at this point. That's kind of how it came to be. But I started to wonder, how much of that is comics for people? For me, it is meant to be fun. And fun means sometimes you love the stuff, sometimes you dislike the stuff, sometimes you pick it apart. Picking a comic book apart doesn't make you inherently bad. It doesn't make you negative. It just that's your way of having fun. Now, there's limits to all this. I think if you go out of your way to kind of jab somebody and, tell them go kill yourself and really, really harass somebody, you get a bunch of followers on Twitter or Facebook, and then you regularly use your platform to point at, much, much smaller people and kind of encourage others to go and laugh at them. I mean, that's douche behavior. And in some cases can become, kind of dangerous behavior, but generally it's just douche behavior. But by and large, comics, the entire purpose of it's a business. You should try and do your business well. I've done lots of videos talking about how it's a business. You try to do the business well, but it's also meant for the people who consume it. It's meant to be fun. I mean, you're paying for it. I mean, you're probably paying for it, but if you are shelling out cash, you should at least be getting some enjoyment out of it. And I'm worried that I see more and more people out there who are looking at it like a duty, like a responsibility. Like, I've got to pay this cash, and then it's got to perform this exact thing for me. And other people better enjoy it as much as I do because I paid some cash, and they better take it seriously like me. And it's like, it's not what I don't think that was what any of this was meant to be. It was meant to just be fun. It was meant to be escapism. Comics, I think, are at their worst when people are getting in there. The creators of comics are getting in there and trying to give some bigger message. Like, if I don't give this bigger message, then I'm not taking my job seriously. And if people don't react to the bigger message in a serious way or in a positive way, then they're hateful people and we must destroy them. Like, that's all a bunch of insanity. Pick up the comic, read it, enjoy it. That's it. Sometimes, very rarely, I'll wander over like the CBR forums and I'll see people going at comics in just the most sad way. I feel sorry for these people. Same thing with a lot of threads on Reddit, other places. I feel bad for the people who are completely up in arms about nonsense. They're forgetting the simple part. It's why I do like going to the old Superman comics from the Silver Age. And, here's Jimmy Olsen with a helmet of hate, and he's turning Superman into some kind of devil creature. And you're like, this comic's going to be absurd. Yeah, of course it is. That's what it's meant to be. That's what makes it great. Why am I making a comic and spending that much time with it? Because, I'm lucky. I have the financial ability to do that and still, provide for my family and do what I want to do. So I'm doing it because, screw it. I've worked very hard in my life. I want to try. I want to do it. That it doesn't need to be much more than that. None of this stuff has to be much more than that. Maybe you like comics, maybe you hate comics. It's okay, but it doesn't have to be this war. And people just get so intense about it. Have you heard this YouTuber lately? I think this YouTuber's gone off the deep end, and they're terrible people. Or look at this person over here, and they're being too Pollyanna about comics. They're saying too many nice things about comics. It's like I don't even know I don't even know where you go with all this. I started to review this comic that is absolutely super popular right now. It's called Dick Fight Island. And it's there's only one graphic novel from Marvel or DC that's currently beating it on Amazon. Now, granted, it's new. So, Watchmen is obviously going to sell a lot more content than Dick Fight Island. But right now, Dick Fight Island's kicking its ass. And that is the gayest comic I've ever seen in my life. The entire premise is that it's an island full of dudes that have a tournament every 4 years where they try and jerk each other off. That is the comic, and it is super popular right now. And I do take some humor in the fact that a book like that is massively successful, despite the big two talking about all the inclusion efforts they're doing. None of them hold a candle to old Dick Fight Island. I don't know. I find humor in that. Doesn't mean I hate any of the people at Marvel or DC. I just find that funny. I find that funny because life's meant to be kind of funny, or at least it's good when it is. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what the point of all this was. Like I said, I'm sick. Haze of medication. Just thought I'd talk a little bit about kind of why I do some of the things I'm doing. And I appreciate everybody who came, and channel's up at 30,000 subs. It's crazy to me. I don't know why you guys all came here. It's not my videos like this one. I've tried to give you good advice from time to time. I've tried to talk from a consultant point of view. I've tried to talk from a shop owner point of view, and every now and then talk from a fan point of view. Explained before why I sometimes reluctant to do that, because I really do. At the end of the day, I believe you should make your own decisions. I think you should decide what comics you like, and if you like a comic I don't like, God knows I don't want you influenced by my thought. I just want you to read it and enjoy it for yourself. I know these are hate-filled words. When I was on, somebody did point me to a thread on CBR a couple days ago. It's like they're talking about Perch, and they were going to one of the Ta-Nehisi Coates sales analysis videos. And these people are like, I don't need to listen to that video to hear some neckbeard like Perch spread hate and racism. Like, if you listen to that video, I said that Marvel pretty much screwed Coates by handing him a character that they had torched in the regular books, and it wasn't fair to him as a writer. But yeah, I'm sure that was very hateful. I do love people who come in and comment without listening, but it's fine. I don't know. One person did in there say, Perch is as hateful, the rest of them just smarter. Like, well, I mean, thanks for that. I guess I'll hang my hat on smarter. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying whatever. I mean, at the very least, if you're really worked up, really angry, really frustrated about one side, or maybe you're frustrated about the other side, because there's so much anger in this. I mean, the anti SJW crowd, right? So you have the SJW crowd, they're angry. Then you have the anti-SJW crowd, they're angry. And then you have the anti crowd, the people who are like really angry about the people who are angry about. Oh my God. Read a comic. Please. Find something you enjoy. I promise it'll be good. Anyway, I'm going to go take some medication. Save you all from my crazy voice. And thanks for supporting this channel. I mean it. Thank you. Every now and then my daughters see the subscriber number and like, wow, our dad's a big deal. It's not the paycheck I bring home, not the fact that I drive them around on the weekends in a Porsche. No, it's hey, look, dad's popular on YouTube. I mean, okay, but it gives them a smile. So you, the person listening to this, were some small contribution to that, and I really appreciate it. So thanks for listening.